डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Welcome to Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. I, Dr. Preeti Baser, welcome you at the Chaitanya Studio in the lecture series of Postgraduate Diploma in Cyber Security for the subject PGDCS 203 Application and Network Security. In the previous lecture, we had discussed about the fundamental of desktop security, why desktop needs to be secured, and the basic list of desktop security policy. In this session, we will discuss about what are the best policies, what are the best practices for the desktop security, patching the operating system for Windows 7 and Linux, patching of application softwares, and password policies. Now, let us see what are the best practices for the desktop security. All operating systems have vulnerability. They are subject to security risk. In the network environment, such as college campus, a compromised computer can affect other computers and disrupt the services throughout the campus. And it also accesses the organization's valuable information, right? So, in order to reduce the risk of successful intrusion and to minimize the damages, some basic steps and procedures are to be followed. The basic steps for the desktop security are given here. We have to keep the operating system patches up to date. We should always use encryption algorithm to encode the sensitive information. We must install the antivirus software and configure it for the daily updates. We should install and configure the personal firewall. We should keep the application and software patches up to date. For example, Microsoft Office and browsers. We have to keep updated. We should follow the best practices when opening the email attachment. We should also follow the secure password policies, right? We should also follow the best practices for the user account security. One should follow, and we should eliminate the unnecessary network security, network services and application and policies. We always have to avoid the peer-to-peer file sharing. We should install and configure anti-spyware program. Configure the system. We have to configure the system and restore point to protect our current configuration. We should always perform regularly scheduled backup to protect our data. We should turn off the computer when it is not in use and restrict the physical access to the computer. A potential attacker could utilize shoulder surfing or keylogger. That also needs to be addressed. Another item that could be addressed to the employees, and to make sure that the user should have shut down their computers at the end of day, right? So these are the best practices that one should follow. Now let us see how to patch the operating system, right? We will be looking the patching of Windows 7 operating system, and how can we patch the application software. Also we will see the patching of Linux operating system, right? So there are basic steps we need to follow, right? So that we can secure our operating system and application software from the cyber attack, right? So one of the most important and fundamental tasks is to patch your computers on regular basis. All operating systems have holes in them, and these holes are vulnerability in the software code. It can be exploited to gain access to the computer system. There are the programs on the internet. They are constantly searching for the unpatched computers. Prior to connecting a computer to the internet, please be sure that the latest critical patches are installed or not. Both Microsoft and Apple have provided the program that will automatically check for the updates on the regular basis. The settings should be configured to check for updates on daily basis. To confirm or configure proper settings, you need to follow some of the basic steps. And these are, we should open the Windows Update by clicking the Start button in the search box and type the update, and then in the list of results, click on Windows Update. In the left pane, click the Change Setting. We should click on the Change Setting. Under the Important Updates, choose the option Install Automatically. Install updates automatically. Recommended. Under the Recommended Updates, select Give me recommended updates the same way we receive the important updates checkbox, and then click OK. If you are re-prompted for the administrator password or confirmation, type the password or provide the confirmation, right? So these are the list of the steps you need to follow to patch the Windows 7 operating system, right? Now, how to patch the application software? The patching application and software like operating system requires the patches to correct security flaws. It is also needed for the application. Please make sure that your application have been patched and it is up to date. In particular, pay close attention to the browser that you are using. For example, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Apple Safari and Netscape. These programs are often the object of attacks. Similarly, other applications are vulnerable if they are not patched properly. Patching is also required for the application to operate the application perfectly, right? So, we need to patch the software. The Microsoft Office for the Windows or Macintosh, yes, for example, some programs in the Microsoft Office and Macintosh, Word, Excel, Access and PowerPoint, right? We have to click the Help button and the select Check for updates, right? So these are the basic steps we need to follow for patching the application software. Next one, that is what are the steps for patching the Linux operating system, right? We always think that the Linux is a less vulnerable than Windows, but it does not mean we are secure, right? Most intruder exploit the correct system and configuration or access the permission, which are often caused by the user ignorance. So, in this slide, we are showing the basic steps for the Linux desktop security. We need to download the ISO for the preferred distribution from the trusted sources. It is recommended that to visit the official web page and the select download from there only. If you are downloading the from unofficial sites for higher speed rates, make sure that you are using the same trigger. Upon downloading, always check the SH1 and MD5 sum, right? So, whether you have correctly downloaded, right, the patches for the Linux operating system, we need to ensure that its validity, right, its correctness. So, for that we have to follow MD5 and SHA algorithm, right, and if this algorithm gives the proper values, right, MD5 for message digest, so it gives the proper value, that means you have installed the necessary patches, right, from the reputed sites, right. Don't perform the full install. Select only packages that you require. After installation, disable any unwanted service which are running, because we know that the running services means open port to the outside, and if you don't need that service, it is better to disable it. Now, you should also run for disable any unwanted services using this command: run netstat ntlp followed by the pipe grep listen, right, as a route to find out the which services are running. Also, if you don't use IPv6, you can safely deactivate IPv6 protocol support which are there available in your network card configuration. We should run the firewall. Either you can use a distribution specific GUI or configure it yourself. The firewall is must have a security measure, and if you have an active network connection, as it drops the unnecessary traffic and blocks the possible intruders. We should configure the TCP wrappers. It is really easy to do it, and it gives you extra layers of security. You can control access. You can control the access to all services. For example, SSH. They are linked against the IBP wrap or run by superdaemon, right? Again, we can avoid using the root account. Configure root account in using sudo command, right, such that you can access the sudo can be accessible for your user in safe manner. We should update your system on regular basis, right, and don't mind the daily updates. They are meant to resolve bugs and keep your machine more secure. Always use the trusted software sources. Don't try to install the packages from the unknown websites and stick to the official repository. Avoid the compiling from the sources and use distro package management system instead. If you are using FAT or anti-FAS or a Samba shares, always install the antivirus software. You may not be vulnerable to Windows malware, but you can infect others user on the network. Always use the intrusion detection system like Tripwire and Adair. In addition to, you can use RK Hunter to scan for backdoors and rootkits, and Logwatch to monitor your system, right? So these are the basic steps for the desktop for providing the security in the Linux desktop, right? So we need to follow all these procedures and we need to follow the steps. I just want to recall again, we should always download the ISO for your preferred distro from the trusted sources. Don't perform the full installation. Which of the software, which of the packages are required, only that packages needs to be installed. Because installing unnecessary packages, it consumes the extra memory and power supplies also, right? And it also requires extra processing power. We also disable the unwanted services, as I told you earlier. And how can we disable unwanted services into the Linux desktop environment? In the sudo, in the command prompt, you have to apply this command, netstat ntlp grep followed by the grep listen, right, as a root to find out the which services are running. Once you have found the unnecessary services are running in the background, you can disable them, right? We should run the firewalls to monitor the traffic, right, to ensure that whether this traffic contains the malicious from the outside or some malicious codes are viruses are whether they are installing on our network or not, right? We should always configure the TCP wrapper, right? It provides the extra layers to the security. We should also avoid using the root account and update your system on regular basis, right? So these are the basic steps for securing the Linux desktop. We also seen how can we secure our Windows 7 desktop also, right? Now let us see what are the password policies, right? The usernames and passwords are the primary means of authentication. These are the primary means of authentication used to access the desktop system, whether it is a Windows or Linux. The point in creating the password is to make the password as much hard as possible to guess or crack. There are numerous programs and the application that can be used to crack the password. And if the password is complex enough and properly constructed, the attempts can be thwarted to the large extent. It is also important to realize that the penetrator of such attacker does not need to be sitting in the front of your machine. This attack can be initiated from anywhere, provided there is a network connectivity, right? So password, we should change the password on regular basis, right? Password should be changed at least once every 90 days. Even well constructed password can be cracked with enough time. By changing the password often and not reusing the old password frequently, this type of access is limited, right? So I just wanted to show that what are the characteristics for the weak password. Poor and the weak password has the following characteristic. The password contains less than 8 characters, is considered as a poor password. The password is a word which is found from the dictionary. The password is a common usage such as the names of family, pets, friends, co-workers and fantasy characters, etc. So, if the passwords have been found from the dictionary, if it is less than 8 characters, and if the password is a common usage word, right? Like the names of family, the names of organization, co-workers, right? Friends and pets, right? These passwords are easily, anybody can easily guess, right? Computer, again, fourth one characteristic of the weak password, the computer terms and the names, commands, right? Sites, companies, hardware and software names, right? Again, the weak password can be having the birthday and other personal information such as address keys and the phone numbers. The word or the number pattern like AAA, BBB, right? Some patterns are there. Z, Y, X, WV, UTS, right? 1, 2, 3 and its reverse 3, 2, 1, right? All these patterns can be easily able to guess, right? And any of the above spelled backwards, right? So, and any of the above preceded or followed by the digit, right? For example, secret, okay, secret 1, 1 secret, okay, worm, virus 1, virus 2, right, 2 virus, okay. So, these are the characteristics of the weak password, right. Now, we should not be having such kind of weak password in our practice, right. So, I just wanted to show you how can you build and what are the characteristics of the strong password. The strong password have the following characteristics, right. It should contain both the upper and lower characters, right, okay. It should contain both upper and lower characters such as small letter and capital letter, right. It should have digit and punctuation characters as well as, right, not only characters, it should have the extra characters, right, digits and the extra characters, special character such as 0 to 9 exclamation mark, or it can have at the rate, right, whatever the extra characters you can use, you can do, right. Then there should be at least 8 characters, alphanumeric characters long, right. Your password should not be much easier to guess. The length of password, the number of characters should be more than 8 characters, right, including alphabets, digits and special characters. It should not be from the word in any language, slang or dialect or jargon, right, okay. As well as it should not be based on the personal information like the names of family, the names of relatives or friends, right. One should not have the password based on their personal information like son name, father's name or husband's name, etc. Apart from this, never be note down this password anywhere, right? Or don't store this password in your mailbox or any other cloud-based environment, right? So try to create the password that can be easily remembered, right? So these are the characteristics of the strong password, right? Now at the end, I would like to summarize this unit, that you should remember the following tips always, right? To secure a desktop, you must have the latest operating security patches installed in your PC. You must have automatic operating system update to download and automatically install it to enable the operating system, firewall or equivalent. User account must not have a local administrative or power user privileges. Exception in some cases if it is necessary, right? So you should not provide the administrative privilege to everyone. You must disable or remove all unnecessary and unused accounts. You must disable the save password features if it is possible. You must implement the strong operating system password rules, like 8 or more characters in the length, including the mix of alphanumeric and special characters. You must enable password protected screensaver with inactivity threshold of 10 minutes. I hope you must have understood the fundamental concept of the desktop security. Thank you so much.